Hello everybody and welcome back to Oakbridge Farms. So, you join us as we're now ripping out these withered carrots. And as I've said before, that this is now going to become our poplar field, which will be the first time in FS22 that I've ever done poplar. Which, by the sounds of everything I hear about it, it seems like a very good way to go. Add that with the wood chips we'll get from the sawmill, it should be quite a profitable endeavour. The only downside to it is it's going to take a bit of time to, first of all, grow them, and then we've got to hope that by the time of harvesting, which we can either do with a forage harvester or with the bio baler, is then waiting for the correct time to sell them. But anyways, so we are going to get these ripped out, and then we can look at getting this field, we'll have to lime it, and then it could do with some slurry if we've got time to put some slurry on, but, digestate. And in the field over there, which is field, I can't quite remember where the olives are, we are going to get some digestate put onto there, which also brings me on to a purchase we're going to make today. So it will involve using up a lot of our money, but you've got to spend money to make money, or in our case, save money. So I want to, if we just stop this here, and we go on to slurry transport, we're going to buy this so that we can bring, I think our tanker's 20,000, so it means we've got 50,000 litres of digestate. So let's buy this now, and then that now leaves us with £4,162. And once we've got this done, we will put we'll put the case onto the slurry spreader, and we'll get the John Deere, and we can fill it up with digestate. So if we do need to do multiple loads, we can just put the case onto a worker whilst we go do the leading of digestate, and then we can come back and take over. Our first job of the day ticked off. So once we've got this last little bit, which is now, we can go to our lease menu. So I do miss FS22, how you'd return vehicles and you can see all your vehicles there. I do miss that. I did like that. We now need to find this so we can return that. And bit backwards at what we've just cultivated. We're now driving over it all, but we're going to go to the livestock farm and find our slurry spreader. So if I remember rightly, I do think this is, I thought it was full, but there's 10,500 litres. So that must mean that let's go to precision farming and nitrogen. Okay, so we missed a big bit there, but that doesn't matter. So we've got that in. Oh, that looks all right. Well, we can go to field 5 instead. So we'll take this to field 5, and I think we can set it off on a worker, go get the John Deere. That seems like the best option. So we're doing 2 jobs at the same time. So we'll have to hold H down for this, because, we were steering assist in the previous field, so we'll have to go back to this to get our AI worker. So 2, start with up, downs, yes please. And then I always forget to press H afterwards again. But right, now that is going. Let's find, here's the John Deere. So I got this already in anticipation of another load of silage to the BGA. because it's one of those that if we're quick, well, it'll have very little left in, so we could fill the BGA, sleep through the night, and then after sleeping through the night, it will have room for what's left. So let's find the dolly. That is here. So we'll get the dolly. We really need to get a tractor, like a truck at some point, because this is just, it's handy and it gets us by, but I'd much rather just have the whole thing, and then we can just interchange between all our different trailers. And here we are, our new slurry trailer. So these are very, very handy, obviously, for leading backwards and forwards, and it'll be perfect. We'll have to look at getting, I think I say that every episode, look at getting this and look at getting that, but we'll have to look at getting if there is a storage unit for digestate, because if that is the case, every time we take slurry over to the BGA, we can bring a load of digestate back with this and start storing it at the farm, which means that we'll obviously be making more digestate, and the BGA won't be filling up and then it stops working, doesn't it, when the digestate fills up too much. But right, this is a lovely drive. It's nice this time of year driving down this track because you don't have all the leaves on the trees, so you can see. It's why you'll notice that if I do any bit of recording in the spring, summer months, I always go in the cab when we're driving down here, because then you can just see that little bit better. So that's 40,500 litres so far of digestate we've put into here. So I'm just hoping that will be, is that going to be close enough there? No. Right, let's try boss this dolly. You got to turn the wrong way to how you want the trailer to go. Right, we can tip that into here, and then what will it be? There'll be 10,000 litres left. It's much quicker tipping from here into the slurry spreader, or into the dribble bar, however you want to call it. It's much quicker doing it this way than it is to have the slurry tank and take it out of this one. I don't see why there's a difference in speed, but we'll just park this up at the top, because 20,000 litres should finish off the rest of this, you would hope. And we're away again. So this shouldn't take us too long at all. We've just got this bottom, that left hand side and this right hand side, and then we're all done. And there we have it, another field fully spread with digestate. Has anyone else noticed that since the latest patch, has it changed anyone else's keybinds? I know for myself it changed one, so when I was trying to fill machinery, it was taking me straight to the sleep menu to rest overnight, which obviously was a bit strange. And then I had on my joystick, I have most of the buttons mapped onto there, I probably said before, but when I pressed to unfold, it wasn't unfolding. And I've just been onto my settings just then, and it had completely changed. I think it had gone to key 30, which I couldn't even tell you which key that was on here. I just have them all. You get to a point where it's muscle memory, you're just pressing the ones that you would like. But anyways, we can go part this up. It may even be worth giving this a bit of a wash off, and saying that if we find the John Deere, because there's no point having this full of digestate, because this will want slurry in next. It's like I said, it's a lot quicker doing it this way. Is it going to give me... No? Oh, does that have to be unfolded to do it? By the looks of that, by the time I unfolded that and jumped back into here, this was empty, and I imagine it could have only gone into there. So I'm guessing that that is true, that the slurry spreader needs to be unfolded for it to accept taking it out of here. But we'll park this in our vehicle graveyard, where we just abandon all our trailers. That can go into there. We'll bring the case back into here and the slurry spreader, and then we can give that a wash off, because poop is rather corrosive and it will make it rust a lot quicker than what you'd like. And you can see the grime slowly starting to fade away. It's almost as good as new if we were back in sort of like the early 2000s. Look at that, my fan's going. I do love it when you can see inside the machinery and see sort of the inner workings of everything. Alright, let's move on to here, and then we'll have a quick, once this is done, we'll have a quick check of our animals, make sure that they're all okay, and then we can move into another year and into January. So the water buffalo are going to need some TMR. The goats still have loads of absolutely everything. The sheep, they're still going with their meadow, so we don't have to worry about them just yet. And the chickens, so it's just, look at that, it's just TMR. So where is our small case? We haven't used that today. So let's put that on. We'll drop that trailer off. We'll go get our little red rock trailer, which I don't think we've used for a while. We can fill up and go feed our water buffalo. I have also found, because obviously I mentioned in the previous episode about Lancey Boy and his cattle shed he was getting. Without knowing when that's going to, without knowing when that's going to come out, there is another cattle shed that I've seen where we can also put solar panels on, which is something I'm quite keen to do. I quite like using that feature, and I don't know whether it's feasible, but if I will just get this to the mixer and get this filling up, and I'll show you my thought. Unless it's already done and I don't know about it, then it is a completely different story. But right, let's put this under here. Let's yes. So let's fill that up. So we go into construction. You'll see here, obviously we've got, well, let's go to Lancey Boy's sheds. I so hope this is a feature, I haven't tried. If we click on it, like that, it's either move, back, sell, or rename. We know that we can customise this shed. I wish it would say customise here, because then we could add the solar panels on or change the colour, which you would be able to do in any normal, real life scenario. Right, this is full, and we will take this over. I think it'd be quite a nice little feature, but that's my personal opinion. Right, let's get this tipping. It could possibly do with some more straw in there. And what I'd also like to check, so there's a few things that I'm just wanting to... Are you going to open? No? Oh, trigger's over here. Is, if we pull into here, I was looking on, I can't... Oh, this has got TMR in. Right, we'll just dump... No, we won't. We'll get our other trailer. So let's drop this off and let's go to here. Because our muck heap is telling us a different figure to what the shed's telling us. So I think... Let's put this on. But there is a trigger inside. And most people will probably be like, well, yeah. But obviously I've never used this before, so it's all new to me doing this. So I think if we reverse this in, I want to go that way, we may be able, there may be a manure fill point just in here. Excuse the fact that I am running over our cattle. I think it's roughly about here, so if we press R... No? Oh, I'll show you what you mean. Well, I'll show you what I mean in a second. That one, just there. What does that do? If not manure. That's the only thing I can think. Little baby water buffalo. And if you look at the shed there, that is our fill point for the manure heap. So it's exactly the same. The only difference is we have this here. So I don't know whether it's because we have this that's become invalid, but here it says basically 49,000 litres of manure. And if we go to the water buffalo, 98,942. So we're missing basically half of our manure that's being produced. So where is that? So I'm tempted to empty this, sell this, and then it may reappear in the store, in the shed. Anyways, we'll see you in January. Well, Happy New Year. We're now in a new month and in January. And we have a lot to do here. So we have wooden beams, which are normally best in March, but they are ready now. So they're still going up in value. We also have wooden beams. We have planks long, where they are above the normal price and coming down, but best in March. We have prefabbed walls, which again are above. So we need to get to, the only thing we don't want to sell is planks from the sawmill. So there's almost 100,000 there. And then we've got the lettuce, that's 140,000 there. Obviously it says best in February, but that's going down. So let's find the John Deere and let's put it, we're going to need the dolly back on, aren't we? So let's go back, get the dolly on. We will take that slurry tanker off. We will put this big trailer on and we will load the lettuce first and sell the lettuce, and then we can go on our way up to the sawmill, load up with the sawmill, and then sell that. Is this going to no, it's not going to fit on that angle, so let's just straighten it up a bit. Boy, it's damaging the whole of our trailer. Oh, I'm turning the wrong way again. So let's get this under here. Surely that must be there. There we go. So we'll spin this round. I'm going to use the fork truck that I like, and then yeah, we could be up near sort of 300,000 by the end of this episode. Max speed is 6 miles an hour, but this is our first stop, so let's release the straps and hopefully we'll just keep driving. We'll get it in one continuous payment. So 154,000, then 7,000 plus 4,000, so we've gone from 30 and a bit thousand pounds up to 201, so that's a brilliant start. Now for our next stop we need to go and get the wooden products, and we need to also find out where to sell these. I'm never going to make that turn there, so I'm going to have to go around the island and then up to the top. This snow does make it hard work. can say is wow. It reminds me of, I was watching one of Chainsaw 100's videos where he had, I think he was on sugar production, and he had a ridiculous amount of sugar that he had spawned and needed to load up. The only difference that between this and that is, one, there isn't as much product, which is a big help, but the other thing is he didn't have snow. Just this, I was half tempted at one point to go and get our telehandler again, because that seemed to be the only thing that could manage this snow half decently, because our other forklift at the livestock farm, that couldn't at all. So right, let's turn that off and go. We haven't done too bad. I did have to quickly pause the recording just to move some things out the way, because otherwise that time lapse would have gone on for absolutely ages. But right, now we're here. I didn't put the stacker truck back on. The stacker truck is now back on. So if we go to our time-saving stock check, we need to look for planks long, farmers market, prefabbed walls. I'm not going to sell anywhere, but we go. So that's farmers market. So the farmers market, that's ours, isn't it? I think, or is it the in-game one? And then wooden beams, farmers market. So we'll tag that. Let's go back. And where is this? I was really hoping it was going to be up here. Farmers is going to be right down this bottom. Oh dear. Right, well, we will get down to the farmers market and I will see you all there. Well, that took its time. Trying to get up the hill past where our forestry is to get to here was a pretty slow endeavour. But what I do want to quite do is, if we go to here, I do love this screenshot mod. That I think would be a brilliant thumbnail for this episode. So let's get in and let's see how much we're going to make. So let's take the straps off. So there's 103. Well, we've just put in another 120,000 there. So we finished this episode on £320,000, considering at the start I took us down to about 4,000. And in the next episode, we really need to think about what we're going to do, because there is the option of Field 11, whether we would like to buy that or not, which would take the majority of our money if we were. There's Field 13 as well, which by the looks of that, there's a lot of loam, and I think loam the best soil type. And then there's also Field 3, which is 130, so it would give us just under 200,000. But we also do need to look at getting new productions so that we continue to make money like we have done this episode. So saying that, I just want to say thank you very much for watching. I hope you have all liked and enjoyed the video, and I will see you again in the next one. Bye for now.